Good afternoon. My name is Jeffrey Solares. I am a violinist and a violin teacher. How many of you here have had a childhood dream to be able to play a musical instrument or master a specific art form or craft? But we're told that for you to pursue these ambitions or these dreams or this particular art form, you need to have talent. And that you've been convinced all these years that you don't have this talent and that at this age it is too late for you to pursue these things. What if I told you that whatever age you are, whatever you're doing at the moment, there is a particular way for you to pursue these passions, these dreams, these skills, provided that you follow a specific method, which I would like to share with you today. The Suzuki Method is a specific way of teaching the violin based on the principles of how every person all over the world is able to learn his or her mother tongue. This method was developed by the Japanese violinist and teacher Shinichi Suzuki when he observed that everyone, absolutely everyone in the world, is able to master this skill of being able to speak his or her mother tongue at a young age, even without going to school or to any formal education. Speaking a language, even your mother tongue or your first language, is not an easy task. It requires a lot of skills, such as remembering vocabulary, remembering how you pronounce certain words or certain phrases, remembering grammatical rules, syntax, etc. And yet, in spite of this, everybody seemed to succeed at learning to speak at least his or her mother tongue. And so, Shinichi Suzuki studied how each person in the world is able to learn his mother tongue, and he developed an educational philosophy and a method based on this approach and applied it to teaching the violin. One of the first things Dr. Suzuki observed about language learning is that it is universal and that the success rate is almost 100%. Therefore, there are no failures in this skill, and so it must be a very, very powerful method for teaching anything. And so how is this observation applied to violin playing? Well, it means that if everyone can speak, therefore everyone can also learn to master a skill such as playing the violin. You do not need a specific talent. It is not a special gift only for a few. The next thing Dr. Suzuki observed about language learning is that it starts early. As soon as a child is born, his education in the mother tongue has already begun. At first, it is a passive way of learning. The child doesn't talk yet, doesn't even show any effort yet to speak, but then he already listens 24 hours a day. He's hearing people speak their mother tongue around him. That is already the start of learning. And so, as applied to music, a child should already learn to listen to music as early as possible. You don't need yet to interact with the music, just have it in the environment, in the background. The next thing Dr. Suzuki observed about language learning is that it's done step by step. At first, a child tries to speak small words, short words, before he could speak phrases, before he could speak sentences. And so, for teaching an instrument or any skill, we have to learn to first master the fundamentals, the very, very basic aspects of this skill. Another observation is that skill only comes after it is repeated many, many times. A child doesn't get tired of repeating the words that he has learned. And even the parents won't tell a child, stop saying that word because you've already said it. Okay, a child keeps on repeating and doesn't get bored. You see, boredom is a characteristic of adults. It's not present in children, in very, very young children. They don't get bored. They enjoy repeating the skill that they have learned. Another characteristic of language learning is that it is always an enjoyable experience for the child. As soon as the child can speak just one word like mama or papa, the parents are very, very happy and very, very encouraging, even if it's just a small success. And this fuels the desire of the child to learn more. The child is not subjected to examinations. The child isn't told, hey, you're a failure here, you better practice this. But everything is done in an enjoyable atmosphere without judgments, without deadlines, without rush. Well, at this point, you may start asking, how about adults? Obviously, this idea of the mother tongue learning seems to make a lot of sense if we apply it to young children. But how about us? We are no longer 3-year-olds. Can this method work with adults? For adults to learn anything, we have to adopt the beginner's mind. Children are natural learners. They start with the assumption and acceptance that they don't know anything, that they are at the mercy of their teachers or of their environment. A child doesn't have opinions about what he is being taught. He just absorbs and accepts everything like a sponge. A child has that sense of wonder about the things that he is learning. He doesn't criticize or question the things he is learning. He doesn't propose his own opinions about things he's being taught, but simply absorbs everything without question. To learn a new skill, we need to understand and respect the fundamentals of that skill and apply ourselves to mastering this skill by repeating it many, many times over a long period of time every day without stopping. Many times we adults get very impatient and we want to achieve our goals as soon as possible. But that is not how it is in learning a very specialized skill. We need to trust the process and we should not rush to acquire the skill as soon as we want to. One of the challenges I encountered in teaching adults is that adults tend to have a lot of tension in their bodies. And so I supplement my teaching by training adults to be more aware of their bodies, training them in learning how to relax their bodies. I sometimes even incorporate ideas that we learn from yoga, from the martial arts, from Alexander technique, from Tai Chi, all these arts that promote mind-body connection. And it is good to use this, especially if you are an adult, because these practices, these exercises such as meditation, breathing exercises, will help restore that childlike character in your body and in your mind. Learning a musical instrument will help you develop focus, sensitivity, attention to detail, a strong memory, precision, patience, and will require you to engage your creativity in solving various problems you encounter. Whether you become a serious musician or performer is not that important. What is important is that because you pursued your passion for music and art, you're able to gain precious life skills which will enable you to succeed in whatever other endeavor you may wish to pursue.